Well, I've got another wheelchair video I'm doing here. There's something else in the Metro paper. It says here, bus drivers risk assault, as you can see. Now, 3 bus drivers have wrote in. Basically, it says here, in a ruling that wheelchairs have priority on buses over parents with pushchairs, the Supreme Court has passed the buck on to us bus drivers to enforce the law. I could pressurise someone to move their buggy and end up being viciously assaulted. I'm not a policeman and I will not do the job of one. I will carry on requesting passengers to move, not pressurising, no matter what anyone says. That's someone called Steve from Liverpool, I think a bus driver there. Someone called Anon via text, sounds like my name Anton, but it's Anon, A-N-O-N. Anon via text has put, I'm a bus driver and there is no way I'm going to ask a fare paying passenger with a child in a buggy to leave the bus so a wheelchair user can get on. If the wheelchair user wants to ask them, by all means do so, but I will not. The job is stressful enough as it is. And an M. Wilson of Sheffield has put, as a bus driver, I am not willing to engage in confrontation with reluctant passengers or refuse to drive my bus. It looks like I will be without a job. Well, looks like we're in a bit of a predicament. I don't know what's going on. I want to thank Doug Pawley, who actually he won the wheelchair buggy case in January. He just actually left a message on my YouTube, Driver Anton. Thanks for that, Doug. I know it must be difficult for you. Everyone in a wheelchair, it's going to be difficult. Obviously, it says here bus drivers are. I mean, it's up to us. We're not policemen. You know, we're just doing our jobs. Obviously, you can see. You know, it says a wheelchair. I don't need to say anything else. People that are in wheelchairs all the time. They're always in a wheelchair. They're always sat down in a wheelchair all the time. If they need the toilet, they're always in a wheelchair. When they're going to bed, they've got to get out of a wheelchair into bed. They're always in a wheelchair. Just think about what it's going to be like for someone in a wheelchair. People in wheelchairs are always in wheelchairs. When it's raining, you're going to get wet in your wheelchair. You know, wherever you're going to be in a wheelchair. Obviously, people who push prams and whatever. I know if you have a child, in the buggy and a child holding your hand and shopping bags, I know it's going to be very, very stressful. I understand, but end of the day, it is for wheelchairs, and we've just got to use a bit of common sense. Think about the people in wheelchairs. You know, I don't need to say anything else. Obviously, policemen. We're not policemen. If somebody is on the bus with a pram, I'm going to ask them to get off and let the man in a wheelchair on, man or woman in a wheelchair. Well, I can't enforce that. Like I said, these 2 seats I'm on, let's move them. Let's get these 2 seats out the way. Obviously on this bus, the Enviro, you can see you can move these 2 seats because obviously that's where the axis, the wheelchair, sorry, the wheels for the bus are there, and you can have extra space. That's all I can suggest is get them 2 seats moved. If not, then the problem isn't going to be solved. Buggy users, it says here, buggy users, please make space for wheelchair users. There you go. I don't need to say anything else. If I was in a wheelchair, I would appreciate if somebody did, pull up their buggy for me, because a wheelchair person cannot pull up a buggy at all. Because you're in a wheelchair all the time. You're in a wheelchair. People in prams can get off the bus without the ramp, but obviously people in wheelchairs cannot get out of the bus, because you can see that ramp has to come out for somebody in a wheelchair to get on and off the bus, whereas with a pram and a buggy you can just get on, you know what I mean? So you can see how easy it is for the pram and the wheelchair. It is a lot easier. So basically every time we pull up at a bus stop, we have to put the ramp out for the person in the wheelchair. The person in the buggy, we don't have to. I'm just saying that over and over again so you understand. Feel for the people in the wheelchairs. That's all I can say. So Doug Pawley, it's great that you won the thing. I think it was the Royal Courts of Justice, and I hope that we can make progress and get them 2 seats moved, and we can have more space so we can have less arguing at bus stops. Because this is not going to go away until somehow we can sort it out. But as it says there, buggy users, please make space for wheelchair users. That's all I can say. Thank you and have a fantastic day, everybody.